utilize those reserves.
How would at the 48-cent tax rate, how would this, number one scenario that you got, I think you got one more earlier. Yeah, that's number two. Number one. If we stayed for 48, how would that start bringing that back in line? As you said, you want to keep those ones together as much as possible.
We hit it only slightly faster in that somewhere between '09 and '10, it literally less than a year. It's truly less than a year.
It would start coming back to where you,
Less than a year. Probably closer to 2010 as opposed to during 2011. Because the impact is about 83,000
Right, a year.
a year.
And I thought we were clear in directing staff to suggest changes, and perhaps we need to be more vocal about what changes we specifically recommend. I don't believe there was direction for us to say the 83,000 was to go into commercial borrowing. I think it was going to be, my impression was that it was going to be a combination of reducing spending and possibly increasing certain user fees. Those were specifically discussed. I feel that contract services alone, we could find $83,000 to offer to our citizens. And I think that we took action the other day, and I have a serious question about undoing that action, and I'm definitely not comfortable doing that in the absence of our town attorney tonight. So right now, I think we should get back to the budget hearing specifically, and then we can get back into this discussion when we get to the budget portion of the meeting, I guess, unless we want to do anything further now. We're supposed to be hearing from the public right now.
yeah, let me get a question. Revenues, that would be the one that would be impacted by a tax cut of 3 cents.
Correct.
Revenue.
Revenue.
That comes off the top. In other words, our budget would, instead of being 3 million, 10, 1, it would be 3 million, a little over 3 million.
Exactly.
That's right.
And I think a recommendation further, and you haven't been a part of any of our budget discussions to date, but making a recommendation to us to not repair the, if I'm understanding correctly, your recommendation is to forego the capital
Oh,
expenditures.
not at all. Not at all.
Road.
Absolutely
So we
not.
can, like you said, do a study.
No, I would, as opposed to changing the rate this year, I would hold on the rate
I thought you
change
meant
and do a
on
study.
the roads before we do
No.
any roads.
No, no, no.
Oh,
What you're saying,
okay.
go ahead
I
and do
misunderstood.
No, some of those roads
I
we
misunderstood.
really clearly need to address.
That's the question I just
And I
asked
would
you.
not stand
You
in.
got
Some of
the
the
48
others, I
cent.
think there was a
We would be
discussion.
okay in maybe a year or so. If we went with our capital improvements that we recommend.
If you look at scenario one,
Yeah.
You're okay.
this is including the lower rate, and you would recover back into
Feel
a
that.
parallel position around 2011. But we're also looking at that as that may not be an accurate one-year jump. You may have other capital expenditures you need to take